Welcome back, everyone. We are the Film Lovers Guide to the Galaxy, and today we're going to talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson joining the DCEU with his newest feature, Black Adam. But before we start all that, if you guys have been listening to the show, we usually start off a little something like this.
So I'm not gonna. The point of this rant is this. Let's say that costs you like 20 grand a year, okay? And the insurance covers 80. You're like, oh, it's a pretty good deal. Well, no, you have cancer.
What's the worst thing you'll do for $1 million?
Fuck you! Stop fucking dropping oil into the Gulf, you dipshits. Fucking morons.
Joe, what is grinding your gears this week?
Dude, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have an iPhone, right? Actually, I think we have the same phone. If you, let's say that you had your iPhone, you're going to an Airbnb, you need to charge your phone, so you brought your charger and you plug it into the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any difficulty plugging into the wall? Historically, with you, there shouldn't be. Have you had problems putting it into the wall?
I mean, not into the wall. I mean, I might have problems finding an outlet. But that's right, because I don't know the space of the house.
Assuming you see the outlet on the wall,
everything's plugged in, no problems.
So, and I think that's because every outlet's the same. Now, there might be different designs of them, but the actual plug's the same, more or less, right?
In the U.S., yes.
In the U.S., right. Okay. So here's my rant. So my shower, it's a two-parter. One, every time I go to in someone's house for Airbnb, I don't know why it's so hard to get the shower going. Like, why is there 50 different styles of like shower heads and knobs and faucets and whatever? Like, I don't know why there isn't a universal style for just the hot and cold in the faucet, and just change the shower head, because that's what people care about, right? You want like the different kinds of shower heads or whatever.
Correct.
Because that shit, that's no problem, right? So that's my first part of it. Second part of it is I've been having this issue that a lot of people complain about, where my shower is a thing where it's a single knob, where you don't have double knob where it's hot and cold. You have a single knob and you rotate it to get to the hotter side and colder side. And I've been getting these things where it's not hot enough. You turn it 1 degree and it's like lava. And I don't know enough about plumbing to like necessarily fully on complain, but there has to be a better way to regulate heat in showers, right? Like, this is a universal thing, because there's like memes about it where it's just like it's like the lavas of fucking Mount Doom or some shit.
Okay,
it happens to me all the time. It goes from like, I swear to God, like 85 degrees to like 110. So
it's like unless you're using your own bathroom, you kind of have an idea of where the knob needs to be at for you to get where your temperature is.
Right.
But you go to a hotel, you go to Airbnb, it's a guessing game.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's some like really expensive shower setup out there where you can like get really precise control. Because here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there is a pipe for cold and a pipe for hot. This is me being completely ignorant, right? And the knob just regulates how much cold and how much hot mixed together and shoot out to your face. So why is this just giant jump when I turn the knob? Just boop, It's so annoying. And and it's getting kind of cold here. Like, it's wintertime where it's like hitting low 40s, high 30s. And so I do enjoy my shower time as of late. But man, it fucking sucks, dude.
Do you think rather than having knobs for showers, it should be like a Google Nest, and you should be able to
like
input
tell them
that shit, and then the water should run it?
That sounds nice in theory, like an electronic thing where you go boop boop 92 degrees or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think that a shower system because I think plumbing's gone a really long way.
Yeah.
Like, a shower system should not require batteries. It should be pretty idiot free. Like, if I have to, I shouldn't be able to tweet from my fridge. That's how I feel about a lot of things. Like there
Mhm.
shouldn't my microwave shouldn't have fucking internet capability to have updates. Okay, like I don't want to tech and right. Like, this is not trying to me being an old man sort of thing. Like for example, the other day I wanted to play my PS5, so I turned on my TV. My TV started fucking updating. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are you possibly updating? Like what? And turns out it's updating the shitty ass software they have in there, like for watching free TV. I don't need any of that shit. I TVs do not require internet. Do not. All it does is probably feeds ads into that shit. I hate it. I guess it's a third rant, but anyways, yeah, hot cold. Everyone. I mean, I'll figure something out. But since I'm living in a rental, I don't want to like fuck with it too much, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks, I hope you can all relate. Fucking showers, dude.
But if you are a plumber and you are listening to our show,
Please,
just
please
tell
call
me
me. Yeah,
why can't we? If we can regulate, I mean, I get it. It's because it's a machine, right? Probably with AC, with heating, that you can use a Nest to kind of control that. I don't want to know why we can't do that with
I.
the water.
It's the thing. Also, the interesting thing is I don't know any plumbers. Like, it seems kind of odd
I
to
know.
me, but I feel
Yeah.
like I should know a plumber. I feel like I should know an electrician. That should be someone in your contact list. I think.
Right. All right.
Oh lordy lord.
So, Jared is out for one more week, you guys. He will be back next week. He's still getting his room and setup all situated
All that moving, man.
because we know moving sucks. But
Moving is the
you know,
worst.
but if you guys do want to listen to Jared, him and guest host Danny talk about Scream 3 in their expanding the universe. Like I said, we were trying something a little bit new, doing kind of like little segments like that. So if you want to check out Jared and Danny talk about Scream 3, go ahead and check that out. It's probably going to be really good. I'm going to be listening to it mainly because I have to edit it. But yes, check it out, you guys. But we're on to what have you been watching this week. Joe, what have you been watching this week?
So I finished Solar Opposites.
Okay.
I don't think that's to anyone's surprise, just because I've been watching pretty much one season a week. I finished. At least I'm caught up to date with two shows. One is Archer. The other one is oh gosh, what's that show? F is for Family.
Okay.
I do have to say for those watch, and also I'm caught up with Bob's Burgers. I've been watching the newest season.
Got it.
Bob's Burgers is very relaxing to watch. It makes me happy at the end of it. Me watching F is for Family just adds more stress to my life. I think it is. I don't know if it's Bill Burr. I don't know if it's the fact that it's a very dysfunctional 70s family, but it's like this is a lot of yelling for a cartoon show, and a lot of pretty fucked up shit happening in the show, which is something that should go right up my alley. But man, it is like it takes effort for me to watch that show, and it's like chewing on a really old piece of bread. You like it, you like the taste, but it's kind of like very very chewy. Also, I told some people this. We all know the president of Ukraine, Zelensky or whatever his name is. We
Mm-hmm.
all know that he is, and I feel so ignorant not knowing his name. He was obviously, as a lot of people know, he was an actor before he was a president. A lot of people know this. There's a show on Netflix right now about that he just recently did right before he became the president, right? Which is a mega trip for me, and I was sort of checking it out. It's called "The Servant of the People," and I'm not going to watch too much of it because I don't know. It's also in Ukrainian, but it's weird. I
Okay.
checked out a couple episodes. I don't know. I mean, it's a very cheap laugh thing. It's it's a I don't know. I don't know how to really judge foreign shows.
Okay.
that kind of
Is it
thing.
like it's like a documentary show
No,
or no?
it's basically him living
Yeah.
with his parents in like
Okay.
a area. Suddenly, the Secret Service show up. Like, you got elected president. He's like, what? And it's like a goofy. Now he's like a teacher from a foreign or from rural areas. Now the president of Ukraine, which is
Mm,
again weird because now he's actually the president
actually,
of
the president of
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Okay.
So I'm not. I'm see what I'm confused about is whether or not this show had any impact on his popularity to become president of Ukraine, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't really know how to really, and I don't want to get political here, but I don't really know how to judge the guy because I don't know much about him. Like, I have no idea if he's doing a good or bad job. I'm just
Yeah.
going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is doing a good job. But I personally don't know how I feel about like just like real like actors become head of states. Like, it seems weird to me. Yeah, and then I think that's all I watched. I might have watched a couple. Dude. I've been trying to like check out a bunch of stuff. Now, I don't tell me if this is stupid.
Hmm.
So I'll see something really new on Netflix or newish. Let's see, it's like 3 months old, 4 months old.
Okay.
I go, okay, that looks interesting because there's one that's called like the School of Good and Evil or something like that. It's with
They came out this past week.
so
Yeah.
okay, so I was like, okay, that looks interesting because it's like Harry Potter esque or whatever. So I didn't look.
With like
I didn't watch it
Charlize
yet.
Theron
Yeah,
and
dude, it
Michelle
is.
Yeoh. Yeah.
It
Okay.
is. It is. Okay, so what I did was, and I kind of feel guilty doing this, is I would go to Google, type it in, and see what reviews it got,
Hmm.
and it had like 28% or something, and I just like, all right, I'll skip it. And like, as like a semi-amateur critic, I really feel like I shouldn't do that. Like, I should watch it myself, but it really like I don't know. Should I stop doing that? I mean, that's the only reason.
Well, I think that's a good question, right? I think it really kind of depends. I am a purist at that, where I will watch if wide release, indie release. I will watch it just because, whether it's entertainment, maybe I get something out of it, or maybe I just need to recognize what is a bad movie, just so I have that database
Yeah,
in my head, right? But
yeah.
I also understand that that is also an investment of 2 hours of your time. If you have a thing that you're predicting that is going to be a waste of 2 hours of your time, I understand why people will skip it, especially even if, even though we do this very amateurishly, it's still something that we do and we're investing time. We're not getting paid for this shit. We're just doing it for the hell of it, right?
Soon.
Yeah. So, but it is, but I do understand that because there's times where I'm all like, I have an idea, but that's why I always tell you guys, and if you guys listen to the show before, I always think about it as anticipation and not expectation. Because if I'm expecting something, then there's a bar that it has to meet. If I'm anticipating something, I'm like, it's more of a hype thing for me. Whether it's low or high, I rather be excited for a movie going into it than having expectations of a movie going into it, right? But that's just me. I understand people going in with expectations, specifically with the comic book universe, more or less. But I get that. If it looks bad and you think it's going to be predictive, just wait a week. I'll probably watch it. And I'll let you know.
Here's the thing. The other thing, and this is the last bit, and I'll ask you what you watch for yours. But instead of watching it for 2 hours or whatever, I
Mhm.
just sat on the couch and went on my phone. So like, it's not like I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I would have spent my time any better.
Right.
So now that I like kind of self-recognize that, I think I'm going to watch the movie if unless I have something pertinent otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think that's my goal for that kind of stuff. So, anyways,
Perfect.
what have you been watching?
So, couple things. One, I on Paramount, they have a new film. It came out several months ago, but it's called The Contractor. Has Chris Pine, Ben Foster, Kiefer Sutherland. Basically, Chris Pine plays this soldier that is dishonorably discharged. He's out of his luck. He's looking to make money, and so his friend is recommending him to this guy where they do a job legal, make some money, comes back, they get paid. Something goes wrong, and the action itself is fine. I think the movie is more about just exploration of how soldiers, what they go through when they're coming back, and they're not having luck. They're too proud to be looking for normal jobs or things like that, and it deals with PTSD a lot. Chris Pine was really good in it. I just thought the movie was okay. It's a 3 out of 5 stars on that one. In theaters, I saw 2 movies. One was Ticket to Paradise. Has George Clooney, Julia Roberts, ex married couple that is trying to prevent their daughter from getting married in Bali. Look, this movie without George Clooney and Julia Roberts would be straight to Netflix. But something about Julia Roberts and George Clooney together just works. It's a romantic comedy that you've seen in the 90s and the 2000s. Really, it's very light on, plot. It's just from situation to situation. Really, you're watching it because the chemistry between the two is really good. We both know George Clooney and Julia Roberts are good actors on their own, but when they're together, they're having fun. It makes the movie fun. That's a 3.5 out of 5 star movie for me.
Just barely better than the other one. Oh shit!
Hey man, it's still fun. There's still problems I have with the movie, but I think I miss these type of romantic comedies, right? I think sometimes you go watch it because I'm watching it because of the big name actors. Like shit. Last time George Clooney and Julia Roberts was in a movie, it was Ocean's 12. And that shit was confusing with some of that plot, right? But they were really good in Ocean 12 and 11
Love
together.
Ocean's 12.
So I think it's a really good rom com. I'm pretty sure I was the youngest person. I will say this, and I'll give you both these experiences that I had in theater. So Ticket to Paradise, I saw it on a Friday night at like 9 o'clock. We see theaters seats because we reserve them online.
Yep.
Each row had one seat empty, four seats empty, one in each row left. But it's funny because when I counted, it's the odd seat out, which lends me to believe that everyone's here is a couple. It makes sense.
Okay.
Two. So I'm all like, all right, I guess I'm sitting between this couple and this couple. Whatever, I probably was the youngest person in there. Actually, no, there's another couple that was kind of young, but I was one of the younger people in there. But they were getting there's some good heart laughs and there's chuckles. It makes me feel good because I'm like, oh yeah, this movie is pretty funny. It's not something I'm gonna remember like at my end of like 2020s list if I'm thinking of all time great movies, but it's a good escapist fun. Coincide that to the movie I saw the day after, which is Tar, which stars Kate Blanchett. She plays this really big music conductor that is head of the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, right? And the movie essentially is about her and her decline to fame because of a lot of circumstances that happen. One of the biggest points is what does cancel culture look like, and what does that even mean in this statement? Let me tell you, this movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I was on the edge of my seat for all 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Really?
It's one of the best movies I've seen so far this year. It's in my top 3. Kate Blanchett, just like what she is in the movie, just conducts this movie so flawlessly. Like you can't stop watching her in it. And I think for someone like you, if you have a chance to watch it, I think you'll appreciate at least the musical themes that are in that movie more than I do, simply because it's like, I like when we talk about like orchestra, philharmonic, whatever, is it safe to say like the one in Berlin is like probably one of the biggest?
Yeah, very famous. Yeah,
famous, right? Okay, so she's conducting like her last of the Mahler series. I don't even know who that is, right? I just have to go with the flow when it comes to that. But what is great is that you see her talk about, working the system, how she uses it to her benefit, how she manipulatively uses people, and how it can backfire on her. She is recognized in this movie as one of the best to do it, but you also know that people do hate her because of how she takes herself so seriously or things like that. Um, yeah, man, and you know what the craziest thing is, and I think the beginning of the movie, what are we used to in the beginning of movies? Maybe it's a short credit, it's a little clip, it goes in. So in the beginning of this movie, it kind of starts backwards, right? You hear kind of like a song that's being sung. I'm not gonna say operish, but it's a 6 minute song. Why do I say 6 minutes? Because they played the credits first. So you see all the technicians, you see all the directors, you see the production, stuff like that. Because it's like, and when the movie ends, you only see the actors, the music that was being used, and that was it. So they gave credit to everyone in the beginning because we know that with orchestras, at least I have a smaller sense of it. Joe was in one, so Joe understands a little bit more. It's like, it's not just one person. Everyone has to do everything to make sure music works. And I thought it was really smart to start like that, end it the way it is. And the ending to this movie was so good. Because, and it's not like, oh, it's like oh, gotcha moment. It was more of like, oh shit, and I think, we've touched a little about this before in our conversations about, whether it's Chappelle or Louis C.K. or something like that. Is like, we talk about the cancel culture part, but then it's like, if you are the artist or the person that's in there, do you stop doing what you're doing, or do you still serve the things that you love to do? Like, do you, if all this happened to like Louis C.K., does he still want to do stand-up comedy, right? Like, does he really have a passion for it? And so they kind of asked the same question here. One of the best movies you'll see this year, 5 out of 5 stars. I'm telling you, this is one of the best. You're gonna watch this movie, man. It's so good.
Dude, I was kind of expecting, like, oh, best movie this year, 3.5 out of 5 stars.
This is how this podcast is gonna be, man. I'm gonna talk up a storm to a movie just to give it 3.5, maybe 4 stars. I'll be so mad at the movie, and I'll be like 2.5, 3 stars.
Yeah, dude, I'm definitely gonna check this out, man. That sounds awesome. Like, I don't think I've. It's been a while since you were so passionate about. Again, I've definitely seen the trailers for all of these, or for that one when I was watching. I forget, I was watching something before, but yeah, I'll check it out.
You gotta check it out, you guys. And so the theater experience for this one, yes, I am by far the youngest person that's in this damn theater watching this movie. How do I know? Because the phone went off 4 times from 4 different boomers.
No!
Just like, and here's the thing about this movie. A lot of it is because since she's a maestro, she's very in tune with the sounds that are happening around her. So sound design is very important in this movie. So when I hear phone goes off, I'm all like, "This is it the actual movie, or is this someone actually, phone going off and people's phone are going off?" Because there's things that happen in the movie that she hears, and the sound design was so good because you pick it up and you're like, "Huh, what the fuck is this?" That type of thing. So,
Johnny, I have bad news. I can't watch. This is 50 miles away if I want to watch this movie. It's not a very widespread movie.
It's not. Well, it's supposed to come out wide release this Friday. So LA, it actually released in LA and New York 2 weeks ago, and then it got a little bit limited last week. So that's why I had a chance to go watch it, because but hopefully it's going to get more traction, because it's great. It's something like, it is Cate Blanchett's Oscar to lose right now at this point for Best Actress. Like, she's so fucking good in this movie, man. Like, I can't sing enough praises.
I'm looking at the times near where I'm located. It's still the same. It's the same theater, 50 miles away. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for you, baby. It better be like a really nice dude. And I've
send, man.
No, it's not that. It's not that at all. I keep on complaining to people like, oh man, these oh fuck. I was gonna say all the movie theaters near me are absolute trash. They have like the shitty seats. I'm like, oh, maybe this is 50 miles away. I'll check it out. I just saw photos of it. It's trash. It just happens to furious. Just absolutely furious. Anyways, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. For you, Johnny, I'm gonna drive 100 miles total for this weekend. Let's watch this shit.
Worth every single goddamn minute.
I hope so,
I
buddy.
think it is. All right, you guys. So that being said, we're going to talk about the movie we watched this week, which is Black Adam, the first movie that Dwayne Johnson gets to be in the DCEU. So the synopsis: nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the almighty powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. You know, this movie stars Dwayne, like I said, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has Aldous Hodge, Pierce Brosnan, Noah Centineo, among others. Joe, what did you think of the movie?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say
spoilers alert, just in case you guys. I keep forgetting this.
Look, you gotta assume spoilers for all this. Like, it's if you're more than one episode in with us. I'm gonna start off by saying I don't really know much about the actual history of all this stuff because I know there's comic book, encyclopedians out there that know their stuff. I don't really know why this Shazam world is affiliated with Black Adam, or if it's supposed to be canonical or whatever it is, or canon. Sorry.
Yeah.
That I'm saying no. I don't know. I think I feel like The Rock was a little bit jealous when who's that other wrestler? He just did the other DC.
Dave Batista?
No, the other one. The You Can't See Me.
Oh, John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena. He did a DC movie.
Well, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but that was really good, right? So he did it really well. I liked it a lot. So I think, I feel like The Rock had to jump in on this, and and I'm gonna say for the record, and this is for all Rock movies from the last 5 years and from the future. I don't blame him one bit for doing what he's doing. I would do the exact same thing. I gotta say that in terms of volume, your quality is gonna go down. But let's talk about this movie specifically. And specifically for this movie, I think it was good. Good is the best way I could describe it. Like, it's not tar. It's not like Johnny was so adamantly doing. It's fine. I think that The Rock did a good job of being somewhat humorous. Good job of the action scenes were great. I'm gonna say some controversial things here in a minute, but I think that the Justice Society.
Yes, Justice Society of America. Or
now,
maybe it's not of America. Maybe it's just Justice Society.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if that has to do anything with Justice League at all. I don't know. I'm assuming it's gonna be something different because why would they have two things? But anyways, the Justice League, Pierce Brosnan, all those people, really cool. I think they worked fine. The problem I have with this, the biggest problem, anyways, is just a general story. I don't like the if I feel like it could be written better. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is following necessarily a comic or something that's already been written. But the story is this: some lady activated Shazam, and then The Rock became Black Adam, and then he started fucking shit up with lightning fingers, bam, 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 right? And she has a kid. Kid's a big fan, and then bad shit happens, and they're trying to fix it. There's something about a crown. We'll get to that later, but whatever. But the thing is this: one of them was you can either sacrifice, and this is what came to it, because they're we got to give the crown back to the bad guy to save the kid.
Yes,
and the crown, the bad guy with the crown will do some shit to whatever. And he becomes Satan or something. What the fuck? Okay, first of all, but all right. So my question is this: giving back the crown probably costs the city 15,000 lives. Okay? You see where I'm going with this?
Okay.
So, like, guys, if you're listening, there's a point in the movie where they have the crown, they have everything. They have everything they need. They're good, except for the kid. And for whatever reason, this woman's like, no, I refuse. I'm like, no, just punch the woman in the face, take the crown, and you're good. And so I'm a big fan of the whole the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, which is Star Trek.
Mhm.
But they try to like alleviate that part by saying, oh, Black Adam, his history was he lost his kid and his family, his wife, and that's why he has a soft spot for this kind of thing, that kind of all that kind of stuff. While I understand that, is that we basically traded some kid for Pierce Brosnan. Okay, that's the effective trade here. That's an awful trade. The worst trade of all time. It's just the kid has. First of all, the kid's never going to show up in any other movie, guaranteed. Like, I don't think he has any. I don't think he has any significance. And then there's the whole bit about the Superman at the end, and that's going to be cool as fuck. But again, I apologize to all the people that are listening that are children and women, because I feel like I drag you under the bus a lot, and it's not focused towards you, but logically speaking, I would like Pierce Brosnan back, and I wouldn't mind if a kid died. And I think the problem is with Warner, you just can't have kids dying. But look, man, if the giant increasing dude accidentally trips and falls into your city, you killed at least 40 kids, at least. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Like, so in a nutshell, the fight scenes were great. I think the characters are fine. I just didn't necessarily agree with the story, and therefore I think it's good. I guess. What about you? What do you think?
All right, so let's start off with the bad. The kid is a discounted version of God, what's his name in Shazam? Freddy.
Bro, yeah.
So basically he's there to kind of guide at Black Adam and what superheroes do, blah blah blah, things like that. While I think the kid itself as a character is bad, like I don't think the character did anything. What I did like about it is that it gave me a lot of Terminator 2 vibes, which is like, the kid just telling them something, and then the Rock doing what he can as an Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, like, is trying to repeat some of those lines, like trying to say catchphrases before things happen. I thought that shit was funny. Like that was to
funny.
me, it worked.
Yeah.
That stuff actually worked, right? And and to a certain point, we've seen movies where, Man of Steel with Superman, no killing. Batman, no killing, right? Just brutally hurt them, but no killing, right? Aquaman, I don't think he kills any of those people. But Shazam actually killed all these soldiers that are in this movie.
Dude, I loved it. I loved it for that.
You hit on the head. Sometimes the macro is actually more important than the micro, but that doesn't make for a good story. The micro is probably the better thing to tug at your heartstrings. My biggest problem with the movie, along with the lines of the story, is that they're feeding me information to tell me how I should feel about the character without actually having the characters interact enough to kind of get that feeling. Because there's just so much backstory that they're filling back and forth. And when you have that much information dump, I shut my brain off and say, all right, whatever. And I think this comes back to the point of how they constructed the story. Yes, I'm pretty sure they have a baseline of what the story is, but I'm pretty confident they had the action set pieces first and then wrote a story around it to get there. That being said, the action set pieces were fun. It didn't seem very prolonged. It did show a different version of an anti-hero that will probably be a superhero later on. I think Pierce Brosnan is the best part of this movie. Him as Doctor, that dude was just like having fun in this movie. He was just chilling, Yes, you guys, when we think about some of the Doctor Fate is like, if we're thinking about DCEU versus MCU, right? Doctor Fate is like a discount Doctor Strange, probably, right? Atom Smasher is a discount Ant-Man. Hawkman is what? Iron Man, but like Hawkeye, right? And then Cyclone is like Storm. So I get it. If you watch this movie and you're coming from the MCU, you're probably like, this is such a discount thing. I don't really care. To be honest, all I really needed was Hawkman and Doctor Fate. I really don't know what Atom Smasher and Cyclone were doing in this movie, to be honest with you, besides providing some like comedy, right? No one's Santino though. He's big with the younger demographic. Because if you look at the billing of the movie, of course, The Rock was going to get top billing, right? And of course, Pierce Brosnan's going to get the right? Because, that's who it is. Aldous Hodge. But Noah Santino, that Atom Smasher guy, got third billing. Think about it when you watch this movie. Like, how much money did you get to get third billing into this movie, right?
Also, there's a bunch of nobodies, too, in this movie.
So, I thought it was fun. Like, I had fun in this movie. It didn't take itself too seriously. It tried to quick some jokes. It ran pretty smoothly, pretty quickly. Like I said, some of the things that bogged it down is just there's just so much exposition that needed to be talked about. I did like the idea that you start off thinking he's a hero, but he's not a hero, and then you kind of learn some of that backstory, even though it took really too long to kind of develop for me. But yeah, the show was fun. What I will say is that mid-credit scene actually got me somewhat excited. We know, well, for one, I know that Jared's not on here. He probably wouldn't be excited about this news. To me, whether how you feel about Man of Steel, because that movie really is 50-50 with people. I know I am on the side that loves that movie. I know Joe and Jared do not like that movie. But I love fucking Henry Cavill as Superman. And so
I love him as Superman, for
Superman.
sure.
Yeah. And so, him over the past couple years about them not wanting to re-sign him, doing a different thing, tells me two things. One, actually only one thing, that The Rock has a lot of fucking pull. Like, The Rock wants him. And somehow he convinced, like, we were thinking to ourselves, if they're going to get a new Superman, they're going to new Superman, whatever, because they're rebooting half the shit with, like, whenever Flash is coming out. But the fact that I saw Henry Cavill for those 5 seconds at the end of that movie, I'm all like, oh shit, this is cool. You know what? I don't need another Superman movie. If you're telling me that he's just going to be in this universe, I actually think that actually would be better, because for me, unless you're bringing kryptonite again, he really doesn't have a weakness, right? So it's probably better to use him as an actual character in a bigger movie than giving him a solo movie, a la like Bruce Banner and Hulk of MCU, right? He's good in those side movies. We don't need an actual Hulk movie. It's fine. So, does seeing Henry Cavill make you kind of excited to where you want to see more Black Adam and Superman in a movie, or is it just, it's cool that he's there, but we don't know what's going on?
I'm assuming that there's gonna be another Black Adam movie then.
So the talk always was, so originally I think Shazam was supposed to have Black Adam in it, because they're supposed to be good guy, bad guy. They're the foils for one another, right? But when you sign The Rock, you can't really make him the bad guy yet. So they separated the movies, but at some point they're supposed to meet. So Shazam, Black Adam, and Superman are somehow going to be in the same storylines together, apparently.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it'll be great. I don't think I really need, again, a standalone Black Adam. I don't really need a standalone Superman. I can see how. I think also DC is doing a good job of kind of digging themselves out of that dumbass hole they put themselves into. So I think with all that being said, They did a good job. I think bringing Henry Cavill back was a good move. Personally, I think they did a good job of kind of like AK origin story for Black Adam, which is good. Um, so what I'm trying to figure out is just as long as you can have a movie like AK mini Avengers where you can have two, three, four main hero types to kind of do a movie together,
Yeah.
and do it well.
Hmm.
Um, I think that would work. Now, they did that, right? They did Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
Um, and for whatever reason, it kind of didn't do great for me. Like Justice League was always kind of like, eh. So I think they have another shot at this. And I don't know. And again, I don't know if that's because of the characters. I don't know if that's because of whatever. But I think Rock will be a good ensemble, superhero ensemble guy. That will
Hmm.
work well. And I am, believe it or not, looking forward to a movie that DC would make of some kind of collab. And I think I'm all for it.
I want to know how they're going to bring back Pierce Brosnan.
You know, I mean, because
I
like it's some magic shit, right? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's you know.
And I'm like I said, I'm excited for Henry Cavill, but if I'm just thinking the movie strictly, dude, like Pierce Brosnan was the best part of this movie. And kids, if you don't know who Pierce Brosnan is, go watch GoldenEye. Go
Dude.
watch go watch any of those Bond movies. Shoot, if you want to see him in funny movies, go watch him in. He was great in Mrs. Doubtfire. Like he
I,
was good there.
I thought that I don't know if Goldeneye holds up, man.
Oh,
Like
GoldenEye holds up, dude.
no, it holds up for you.
Holds up, man.
You're telling me if I got an 18-year-old kid and it's like, hey, either check out Goldfinger, Tomorrow Never Dies, whatever, Goldeneye, it'll hold up?
Well, to me, I think this is a good question. I think that if we were to show a kid a Bond movie, the way I would look at it is you have to essentially pick the best Bond movie from that actor, right? So to me, GoldenEye is Pierce Brosnan's best uh, James Bond movie. I don't think it's his best acted movie. I actually think that's probably um, The World Is Not Enough.
Okay.
Because that movie and the first 10 minutes of Die Another Day is probably some of his best acting. Not everything past the interrogation scene in Die Another Day, I would say is like just like B movie material, right? But I think The World Is Not Enough. Like that's some good acting on his part. But I think his best movie as Bond is GoldenEye. If I had to show one to a kid, right? And I
I
would
agree.
say that it probably holds up over some other movies. I just don't think it would hold. The only movies I don't think it would hold up against is probably Sean Connery's best movie and Daniel Craig's best movie. But I'll take his GoldenEye over any of the Roger Moore, whatever Roger Moore's best movie is,
Okay.
Lazenby, stuff like that. So,
All right, but that's for another podcast. Like a lot more
oh man, I
Bond
will.
shit.
When we're expanding this universe, you guys, me and Joe are going to rewatch some James Bond movies, and we're just going to talk mad shit about it.
Some good old Bond,
What we
baby.
probably should do with that is probably get a random person that's never watched Bond as well, and we'll show them that movie, and we'll just watch it and get
Yeah,
thoughts.
we
That'd be
gotta.
good.
We also have to pick someone that's relatively young. Like it has to be,
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I got some people lined up for this shit.
There we go. There we
All
go.
right. So let's give a letter grade for this movie. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it a B. Again, good, better than some, but not the best. With all the reasons I've said before.
It's a C plus.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, I think this movie, if it didn't have The Rock, it didn't have some really cool set pieces, probably get a lower grade. But I think C plus is right. It's a fun movie. Like, come on, you guys. Like, it. Everyone was complaining about DC movies not being fun. This was fun. Like, it was fun. All right, Joe. Tell them where they can find us.
Guys, you know what time it is. It is at Film Lovers GTTG. Hit us up at virtually all social medias. And check out Black Adam. Check out for all the reasons we said. Let us know if it's garbage or not garbage. And also, please let us know what your favorite Bond movie is and who your favorite Bond is and why. We would love to hear from you at Film Lovers GTTG.
I would love to hear what your guys' favorite Bond theme song is as well, or opening theme. I'm sorry.
That's a good one too.
A good one too. All right, guys. You can find me Twitter, Instagram, Letterbox JNO11. That's JNGO11, where I'm on my way to 100 movies that I've seen in 2022. I cracked 50 something already, so I can make 40 movies in the next 2 months. That seems about right. There's some that I've missed.
Whew, that's work.
All right, you guys. Let us know what you think of Black Adam. Until next week, we'll talk to you next time.